Hi guys, it's Beige. Today I tried recreating the look from Positions video. I hope you will enjoy. So I'm starting off with the Pore Filling Primer, and this I'm only using a tiny bit on the T-zone. Next I'm using a full coverage foundation, and I'm using a sponge to apply it all over the face. Now I'm going to use a concealer. So I'm using first under the eyes a little bit just to lift this corner. And I'm just going to add a little bit to the center here and to the chin. So I just want to lighten those areas a bit. This concealer is really light anyways, so I'm able to do that. But if you're using very full coverage concealer, I would not use it as a highlight. I'm going to use a powder as well. She looks always so made up, and the face in this particular occasion looks very matte. So I'm just tapping the powder on the face. I'm not swiping because that can take away the foundation. You just need to get the powder into your brush and then you can tap it onto the face. And of course, if you use too much anywhere on the face, then you can just swipe it away. But if you really work in the powder into the brush, then you don't need to do that. You can just tap it. Just going to use a bit of eyeshadow base. So she's got, looks like very light matte shade on all over her eye. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to swipe this all over the lid. And as well, just to minimize the fallout, I'm just tapping for now. And once I have just a little left on the brush, I'm just going to go over the entire eye. So next it looks like a very light brown hue here. So I'm going to use this color, the brown from the palette. And I'm just using a pencil brush and I'm just going to keep my eyes open because I want this line to be visible. I'm just going to add a very light hue of brown onto the eyes. Okay, so then it looks like she also has a line here going quite high, and then these two join up on an angle, kind of like a cat eye liner, just with the eyeshadow. Something like that. Now I'm just going to take this darker shade here and a very small pointy pencil brush. So I'm just going to maybe start from here and just do that line, which is basically intensifying. And she didn't have it all the way here, but she did have a little bit like fading into this line here. So I'm just gonna start there because it seems like it's gonna be easier. And just connect that swoop to this flick. And obviously you need to blend that a little bit. So I'm just gonna go back to my pencil brush and I'm just going to blend this slightly. And I need to add more shadow as well to whatever I lost intensity. And just work on that until you're happy. So I'm just going to do the same on the other eye and then come back to this and see if I need to change anything. Just going to blend this a little. This is just to take off those edges because this can be looking quite harsh. We still want it to be a definite line, but I don't want it to be patchy. Okay, I'm just going to take that light eyeshadow again, just with a flat brush this time. Just going to intensify it. And doing this also further intensifies those lines that we created. I'm also going to run that eyeshadow under my brow. She has incredibly straight eyebrows and very short. They almost finish like here. Mine obviously go longer and they are quite curved, so I'm not going to be able to achieve the same eyebrow. Alright, so also from what I can see from pictures, I'm going to just make a little line here with the brown, because she has a line of black, but it almost disappears into this brown. I'm going to take a liquid liner and I'm going to go very close to the lashes. If you want to swipe, you need to hold your lid so it doesn't create wrinkles onto your line. If you want a very thin line, I'm going to thicken up the line. I'm just trying to get as close to the roots of the lashes as possible, just not to leave a gap there. So I'm just touching the liner and kind of pressing it so it releases some of the liner. And here I'm trying to make it a bit thicker, and it's going to almost go into that line as well. Right, so now I'm just going to curl my natural lashes. I'm going to add a touch of mascara. She also has a tiny bit of mascara on the outer corner, just like that. And I'm going to add the wispies to the eyes as well. And if you would like to know how to apply false lashes, I do have a very in-depth video that I will link in the eye for you. So just make sure that the outer corners of your lashes also flow very nicely with your look. And I'm just going to take my black liner and just add a little bit on top of the lash band just to cover it up. Now I'm going to contour and highlight with this kit. For contouring, I mean she has very great cheekbones, so she doesn't need a lot, but I'm just going to create a shadow on the side of my face. I want it soft. I don't want a lot of contour. I don't want like a line going down here. That's never good. I mean, unless it's for a specific reason or a creative purpose, but not for this look. So I'm just doing like a bigger area here, and then as I'm going down the face, very, very small area. It's always very painted and very sculpted, so I'm going to just do the jawline as well. I'm also going to contour my nose a bit, so with the slightest amount on the brush. I need it closer to the middle of the nose than you think. I see a lot of people are putting the dark shade here, and it just makes your nose bigger. You need two thin shadows just right here on the top. Gonna shorten the nose, and she also has a bit of shadow here, just because she has that raven exclamation mark on the nose. I'm going to take a highlight side of that duo that I had. I'm just going to add highlight to the top of my cheekbones. And she normally has a very blinding highlight, but not this time, so I'm just using one that's quite subtle. But you can see a lot of highlight on her nose, so I'm just going to add that little exclamation point onto the nose. And for eyebrows, hers are always very done up, and hers are very like short, just ending here, but obviously I cannot do that. I would have to shave off a bit of it or pluck them, which I won't do, but I'm just going to polish them up a little bit. So I'm leaving this part as it is, and I just did the front here. Right, so last thing we have is the lips, and I think she has a little bit of the same kind of shade on her cheeks as well as on the lips. So I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of the lipstick that I have and just add a little bit of a rosiness here, but we already powdered, so just make sure you don't add too much, because technically you're not supposed to put creams over the powders, but I just literally added a tiny bit of rosiness, so that's fine. And I'm just using the lipstick out of the bullet. I'm just going to take it on a brush a bit just to correct the shape. And I'm just going to add a lighter pink gloss to the center. And that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. For more makeup tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and there's a speckle of glitter and I don't know from where. It's happening. It's taking over my life. It's a force that you cannot mess with, because otherwise it destroys the universe. I'm going to take a highlight. Oh, I'm not faking long hair. Anyways,